Yep. Right, I've hit the 100,000 subscriber mark. I'd like to make it clear, this video isn't the 100,000 subscriber special edition that I mentioned earlier in the week. It actually takes some time for your 100,000 subscriber status, if you like, to be ratified by YouTube. They have to do numerous checks to make sure that your subscribers are genuine. Also, they've got to sort of take into account that it may be an anomaly. You may have released a video that suddenly just pushed you past that mark, and then when people realise you don't normally put out that kind of content, they might cancel the subscriptions and you'll drop down below. So officially, according to YouTube, I don't have 100,000 subscribers yet, despite what it says on my channel page. From what I can gather, you need to go a few hundred or a couple of thousand past that mark before they will start doing all the various checks to make sure that everything as it should be. So in some ways, it's been a bit of an anticlimax, 6 years hard work. And despite reaching that goal, nothing really seems certain. Such is life. Right, there's a couple of things I want to talk about in this video, channel related, not bike related. The first one is music on my videos. I've put music in the background on my videos right since day one. The main reason initially was that my audio equipment for recording the voiceovers wasn't that good, and putting background music on tended to sort of mask the poor quality of the sound somewhat. The other reason that I use music is that it sets a mood, it creates a dynamic for the video. But over the years, I have received a fair few complaints about my choice of music, the volume of the music, the fact that I put music on at all. People saying that they would much rather just hear my voice and, the sound of the motorcycle that I'm riding. They don't want music in the background. So if you remember a few weeks ago, I stopped doing it. It was a sort of a test on my part, really, just to see how people would react. Now, in the first video when I announced that I was doing that, I had lots of people saying, oh yeah, I just want to listen to your voice, I don't want to listen to music, it spoils it. I much prefer your videos without music. But since that video, every single video that I've released, I've had a lot of people lamenting the loss of the music, and they've sort of reiterated what I said early on, that music creates a mood and a dynamic for the video which makes it much more enjoyable to watch, and that they don't find the videos as engaging without it. So I'm putting everybody on notice. I am going to start using music on the videos again. The complaints about the loss of the music have so far outweighed those, saying that they preferred it without music. So that's that out of the way. Now, the other thing which I have spoken about before, and it's reared its ugly head again, is shadow banning. Over the last 2.5-3 years, I have been publishing some videos expressing my views on the way that restrictions to travel are sort of gradually encroaching on our daily lives, our freedoms of movement. Now, I don't just make these videos up off the top of my head. I use my news feed every morning to search for the latest news on sort of electric cars and the upcoming bans on internal combustion engines, as well as the, to my mind, underhand methods that the government is using to sort of push electric vehicles at us. Now, for the most part, on mainstream media, the only thing you will ever hear about this is what they consider to be the positive side, how it's going to save the planet. Electric vehicles are zero emissions, the greener, the better for everybody. And they tend to avoid subjects which show the downsides. To me, in a way, this is a sort of a gaslighting of the public. They're skewing people's perspective of the reality of electric vehicles. And what I've always found is that if you want a balanced view of the electric vehicle phenomenon, you have to move away from the mainstream media in order to get both sides of the story. And that's the news that I try to present to you. You know, I'm not against electric vehicles. There is a place for them. But they're not as bright and shiny and virtuous as the government and the mainstream media would have us believe. There's a downside to them, and they tend to omit that from the information that they feed to you. I just try to redress the balance to give you both sides of the information that's available on them, and I'm very careful about how I go about it. I always cite the sources that I've used for the information that I've given out, and I usually fact check that information and find other sources that corroborate it. That way, you know, if you choose to buy an electric vehicle, you know both sides of the story. You know, you're not just being guided by the sort of rainbows and unicorns aspect of it that's been pushed at you. Now, up until 2.5 years ago, every single video that I uploaded, I used the self-certification form when I'm actually publishing the video to declare that the video is suitable for all viewers, that there's no disinformation included in it, and that it fits within the YouTube guidelines. In fact, I still do that for every video that I publish. But about 2.5 years ago, which coincided with when I started to put this sort of content out, something strange started to happen on the video information on my content panel in my analytics. And since then, from the end of 2021, every single video that I've uploaded, it has been manually reviewed, something that up until then rarely, if ever, happened. This means that something is flagged up about that video. It might be that someone has complained about it, that it contains disinformation, or that it contains some other form of unsavoury content that YouTube doesn't allow. YouTube has manually reviewed that video. They've found that it fits within the guidelines and it should continue to be made available for people to view. Since that time, this happens to every single video I upload. Clearly, my content is now being monitored. And touch wood, so far, nothing apart from one anomalous virtual ride video has ever been sort of flagged up as contravening YouTube regulations. Now, YouTube have admitted to shadow banning certain videos and channels. They now use an AI-based algorithm which, you know, monitors all videos, and if it considers that the content of a particular video somehow doesn't fit, it stops presenting it to people for them to watch. It basically makes that video invisible unless someone is specifically searching for it. Now, over the last couple of weeks, I've noticed that views on this channel have gone down substantially. Now, that in itself isn't necessarily a sign that there's something wrong. It could just be that the kind of content that I'm putting out isn't appealing to people, and to be honest, May generally does tend to go a little bit quiet, then it picks up again in June. It's done that for the last few years. I don't know why that is. And I was disappointed, but you know, what can you do about it? I thought, you know, we'll just ride out the storm and things will get better. But then I started getting emails from people and comments in the comment section of videos saying that they've been a long time subscriber, they have all the notifications enabled, and they've just found out that somehow they've been unsubscribed from the channel. There's been quite a few of them. Or, despite the fact that they're a regular viewer of this channel, my videos are not being suggested to them in the YouTube feed. Now, a lot of them have suggested that I've been shadow banned, which might be the case, I don't know. But what they're telling me is that over the last couple of weeks, when it comes to Wednesday or Friday morning, if they want to watch my latest video, they're having to physically search for it, which is something that they've never had to do before. So clearly, something's wrong somewhere. This, of course, might just be a glitch in the matrix. YouTube is constantly messing around with the algorithms, and a lot of the algorithms are now controlled by AI. Things often go pear-shaped, and it does take a while for YouTube to realise and correct it. But it does seem a little odd that this has happened straight after the best month this channel has ever had for views, over 1.2 million views in a month. So, I would like to thank you for your support both in the past and hopefully in the future, and ask you to be vigilant. You know, if it comes to a Wednesday and a Friday morning and a video of mine doesn't appear in your feed when you're perusing YouTube, I upload at 6 o'clock in the morning on both of those days. I have done for years. Please search for my channel just to see if I have uploaded something. As I say, I usually have. Also, if you're a subscriber, check that you are still subscribed, and also check that your notifications are enabled. It just seems very odd that I've just gone from the best month that this channel's ever had to the worst month this channel's had in about 5 years. Or at least that's how it's working out so far this month. I even had a guy cancel his Patreon subscription the other day, and he sort of sent me a little note apologising, but he stated that I haven't uploaded a video for several months, so he doesn't see the point in continuing to be a patron. Something's definitely gone wrong somewhere. Now, if you are a viewer of this channel, if you do want to help me along, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber, share my videos on, whatever groups that you normally frequent to help sort of spread the word. That can defeat the algorithms. And if you feel so inclined, I would also appreciate any support I can get through Patreon or via the super thanks button down below. Yeah, this is not quite the video that I thought I would be putting out today. I've worked towards this 100,000 subscriber benchmark milestone for 6 years, and I've always envisioned this day to be a really high point in my YouTube career, and to be honest, it's all gone a bit flat. It's a bit of a downer. Right, I'm going to take a break for this weekend. I will be back next week as usual, so if you're riding, please ride safely, and I'll see you soon.